Hello, District 62. Are you ready to dive deeper into rigor in the classroom? Let's take a moment to think about what we already know about rigor. Turn to a partner and share what you know and the questions you have about rigor. The information presented today is from the books Rigor Made Easy and Rigorous Schools and Classrooms by Barbara Blackburn, along with some other research and guides. Let's start with what rigor is not. It's not harder work, more work, resources or specific programs, or only for the high students. In other words, it is quality, not quantity. There are many definitions of rigor, but we felt this one from Blackburn was best. It really comes down to high levels of learning for each and every student. Rigor starts with an environment where all students are encouraged to and expected to take risks, take ownership, and grow in their individual learning. A rigorous classroom can be looked at as more than just the tasks students are engaged with. Aspects of rigor in the classroom can be classified in three ways: expecting students to learn at high levels, supporting students to learn at high levels, and demonstrating learning at high levels. In expecting students to learn at high levels, we look at both what we teach and how we teach it. For example, we can increase task complexity, deepen understanding, gradually increase the text complexity, create cross-curricular connections, and focus on standards-based instruction that include clear learning outcomes and matching assessments. As a caution, when thinking about text complexity and rigor, the focus is not on harder passages, but in moving students up the ladder of Bloom's taxonomy. Rigor engages students in complex thinking. A teacher can incorporate higher levels of questioning using the upper levels of Bloom's in order to engage students in analysis, evaluation, and synthesis. A teacher can increase student engagement by asking students to engage in tasks where they apply newly learned skills while the teacher supports. The second aspect of rigor involves supporting students to learn at high levels. Remember, the goal is to move students to more challenging tasks while providing ongoing support as they learn. The teacher should always be thinking, what extra support might my students need in order to learn at high levels? For example, do they need modeling, chunking information or tasks, integrating technology, and clear expectations? The third aspect of rigor is demonstrating learning at high levels. The teacher can build tasks that require students to show understanding by providing opportunities to apply, analyze, evaluate, and create, and by embedding formative assessments to support ongoing instruction. Students should also demonstrate understanding in multiple ways by varying the products and application of skills. It is always helpful to reflect on our current practices as we try to grow and improve. This self-reflection activity will help you think about aspects of rigor in your classroom and with your students. Okay, now let's get a little more specific with rigor as we think about and practice designing rigorous tasks. Taking it step by step, first, identify the content, focus standards, or skills. What do you want students to learn? What academic content and skills do you want them to focus on? What standards and other learning goals? Second, determine a product. What do you want students to turn in or perform as evidence of their learning? Third, identify the demands and qualities. What demands do you want to embed in the task? What will students do with the texts, content, or skills, such as write an opinion or read 3 texts on cell formation? What qualities do you want to see in student work and performance? These are the descriptors that modify the demands, such as read closely or cite accurately. Fourth, write a prompt. This is the statement that asks students to do something. It creates context for instruction, teaching, and learning, and it involves skills, content, and process. Fifth, write the rubric. What demands and qualities do you expect to see in a product to demonstrate a high level of learning? It's used as a tool for learning, teaching, and scoring, and it shows students what a good product looks like. And sixth, conduct a quality check. Complete the assignment yourself to determine strengths and weaknesses. Revise as needed. Seventh, make an instructional plan. What resources and strategies will you use to guide students through the assignment? How will you teach the demands and qualities you've embedded in the assignment? Here are some suggestions on how students can demonstrate their learning in many differentiated ways, incorporating student choice and technology. Let's look at a task example. We can read and compare the 2 tasks. They are different in terms of demands and qualities. What are the demands and qualities evident in the revised task? What is different about the revised task? Please pause the presentation and turn and talk to your neighbor. Did you note that the demands are, after researching online encyclopedia articles, and create a 3-minute presentation? And the qualities are, argue why recycling is important, and support your position with at least 3 pieces of evidence from your research. Now that we have learned more about rigor and reviewed an example of making a task more rigorous together, let's practice. Review the less rigorous task, then with a neighbor, make the task more rigorous. There are examples of primary, intermediate, and content area tasks on the handout and on the next slides. So select 1 or 2 that make the most sense for your practice. Be sure to consider the standard or skill, the product, the demands, and the qualities of the tasks as you create them. Use the handout to record your thinking. The following slides give examples of how each original task could be revised to be more rigorous. As you review each suggested revised task, take a minute to note examples of rigor in terms of the standard or skill, the product, and the demands and qualities of the task. Some of these examples could possibly be applied to your classroom and tasks. Now that we have reviewed several examples, take a moment to reflect on the rigorous tasks. What did you note in terms of standards and skills, product, demands and qualities? Are there any examples you could infuse in your tasks? Turn to a neighbor and discuss. Today we received information on what rigor isn't and what it is. We practiced identifying elements of rigor and taking provided tasks and making them more rigorous. On the afternoon of the Institute Day on November 10th, some teachers will have the opportunity to work with grade level or department peers to take your current unit and lesson plans, review the tasks you have planned or are considering, discuss them with your colleagues in terms of rigor, and work together to raise the rigor. Your department leader will have more specific information on November 10th. If you teach grades 1 through 5, please complete the Google form so that we can make arrangements for location for all teams. Thank you, and I look forward to working together on November 10th.